Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to something that I haven't done in a very long time, and that is a collection video. Now, you know, I haven't been uploading that much recently, and I will explain that at in a later video, just not now. But probably honestly by the time that this video comes out, I have already explained as to why I haven't been uploading that much. But the point is, I'm back. Not my slump as I was in, if I could say anything right now. And I want to do a video that I've been thinking about doing for a very long time. And if you guys can tell by the title, I am doing a massive 4K collection video. Now, it isn't just going to be your typical, I'm going to show this movie, I'm going to show this movie. I'm going to go into depth about every single movie on this shelf. What do I mean by that? Well, if you don't know the nature of 4K, some films could be actual 4K, and some could just be 1080p upscales to 4K. Now, obviously, most people aren't really going to understand that, and so that's kind of why I want to make this video, to kind of let people understand as to what it means to be a true 4K disc or just an upscale. Because those do happen. Those discs are out there, and I do have some of them in my collection as of right now. And I will address every single one, and I'll mention what each movie has in terms of picture quality, special features, that sort of stuff. So this is going to be a very long video, so strap in, grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and let's get into this. I will be going through these in alphabetical order as well, so yeah, this is going to be a long one. And obviously, I probably would not remember most of these specifications off the top of my head, so I've got a list right here on my laptop right here to kind of help me remember which ones are which, so that I'm not trying to spending 10 minutes trying to think of which one is which. So that's why you kind of see me looking up here, because I'm looking at my notes. So starting off the collection here is actually a very recent movie, that being The Batman from 2022. Now, like I said, I will be mentioning which ones are true 4K and which ones are upscale, so you kind of know what you're getting for your money. Now, this movie is actually true 4K. This is not an upscale, which is actually kind of surprising considering the fact that this is a new movie. And most new movies that get released on 4K are not true 4K. They're mostly upscales. So it actually did really surprise me with, this being in true 4K. So yeah. From what I've seen, the picture quality looks very good on this. There is also if you hear me say the term demo disc throughout this video, that basically means that this is a disc would be kind of something you would show off to someone who is just getting to 4K. So for example, this is what I would call a demo disc, because I can easily put this on for someone and I can tell them this is what 4K looks like and this is what you should be looking for. So I do highly recommend getting this on 4K, because this is obviously true 4K. And coming from someone who watched this in the theater, the weekend it came out, watching this, it looks almost identical to how it looked in the theater. So this is a very good release. I do recommend it. Special features wise, I don't think there's any on the 4K disc. It's mostly just on the Blu-rays. Which actually I should show off. This is a 3-disc set. So you get the 4K here, the regular Blu-ray, and then the special features Blu-ray right here. So a 3-disc set. But yeah, I do highly recommend this. Next up, we have the Blues Brothers. Now, this is a fairly old release, I think. This was, I think, 2018? I'm trying to look at it. Oh, okay, the 2020, so kind of a mid-year release. This is, actually, I did forget to mention, some of these discs also have kind of certain HDR gradings, because obviously 4K is kind of it is a version of HDR. So the Batman here has both Dolby Vision and HDR10. as well as I believe it also has a Dolby Atmos track. So it comes with all the kind of, premiums for 4K. So this is also very good for audio, or for video and audio. The Blues Brothers only comes with HDR10, and the picture on this doesn't look that bad. It kind of looks, it does look better than the standard Blu-ray, but not by much. But I do definitely say, like, if you're a fan of the Blues Brothers, this is definitely worth picking up. Special features wise, it does not come with much. Just basically just like a making of featurette about the movie itself, making the music, and obviously remembering the late John Belushi. This does, it only comes with the Blu-ray, or the 4K and the Blu-ray, but I think the Blu-ray disc is from the previous Blu-ray release, so it's not a 1080p downscale of the 4K disc, which will be coming up in a few releases. I believe the Batman was also like that. But so yeah, do be warned that the Blu-ray disc is not the same kind of transfer as the 4K disc. It will be the previous transfer from I believe 2011, I think. So yeah, do be warned. But yeah, not a bad release. Next up, we have Bohemian Rhapsody from 2018. Now, this is an upscale. This is not true 4K. Now, this is kind of like what I meant earlier by like new movies getting 4K treatments that are not true 4K. This is a clear example of one of them. The picture on this doesn't look too bad. It certainly looks really good. But it's never gonna look really that spectacular because this is an upscale. But yeah, I don't even know why. Oh, I think I even picked up the 4K because it actually this was the only one that came with a slipcover. So yeah, same stuff in here, and you get the Blu-ray or the 4K and the Blu-ray in here. Special features wise, or actually, this is HDR10 plus, which honestly I don't really understand what's the difference between HDR10 and 10 plus. I haven't really found a concrete answer for that, so I guess it's slightly better, but I don't really know. Special features wise, not really much. Basically a documentary or a featurette with Rami Malek, who plays Freddie Mercury. The sound, the look and sound of Queen, as well as the recreating Live Aid special feature, as well as the full Live Aid performance that was for some reason not included in the film. They only include like 3 tracks or 3 songs in like the Live Aid piece, and not the entire thing, which is kind of weird. They should just include the entire thing, but you get it here as a special feature. But if you plan on picking this up, probably just go for the regular Blu-ray and don't even bother with the 4K because it doesn't really look that much better. Next up, we have Disney Pixar's Cars in this amazing looking Best Buy Steelbook, which I absolutely love. I love this thing. Now, this is unfortunately an upscale. This is not true 4K, which honestly did shock me. I thought this was going to be true 4K, but it actually turns out that pretty much almost all of the Disney animated films that I have are upscales, except for one, which we'll get to later. But yeah, this is unfortunately an upscale, which I was kind of bummed about, but nonetheless, the picture does look amazing on this. It's probably the best the film has ever actually looked. So even though this is an upscale, I do recommend this. This does come with HDR10 and not Dolby Vision, but yeah. And also, this does also include in a Dolby Atmos track. So, yeah. But even though this is an upscale, this is actually one of the few upscales I actually do recommend you picking up on 4K because again, anime movies in 4K look fucking spectacular. So, go check it out. Next up, we have a classic here. Martin Scorsese's Casino. I was more of a Goodfellas guy, but this is still a really good movie. Now this is true 4K. This only does come with HDR10. And this actually does not come with a, as far as I know, it does not come with a Dolby Atmos track. It only has a DTS-X track. Same thing kind of with Blues Brothers. The Blu-ray disc will be the previous transfer and not a downscale version of 4K. I'm pretty sure Cars might have been the same. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I know this one for sure is a downscale. or is the previous transfer on Blu-ray, and not the 4K transfer, just downscaled to 1080p. The picture on this one doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. I don't know if this is really the best that the film has ever looked, because the first time I actually did watch this was on 4K. So I haven't really been able to check the actual Blu-ray disc yet. But from what I've heard, this is a pretty good transfer. So if you're a fan of gangster movies and a fan of Martin Scorsese, pick this up. Next up, we have Cliffhanger. Now, you actually did see this recently in a recent video of mine from the Amazon Prime unboxing. Amazing 4K steelbook. I still love this thing. Luckily, I still have the info card right here, so I could actually look at this. This does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10, so that's also neat. And this also does come with a Dolby Atmos track, so that is also neat. The 4K transfer actually does look really good on this. I think this is probably the best that the film has ever looked, because unfortunately the Blu-ray did look very washed out. The original Blu-ray release, I'm not sure if that is the same case with this Blu-ray release. I'm not totally sure, but I know that the previous Blu-ray releases they look very washed out. A lot of the colors kind of turned like white, and the blood throughout kind of looked very like orangey in a way. So not a very good Blu-ray transfer, but this 4K transfer does look very good. So if you're a fan of Stallone movies and a fan of this movie in particular, do pick this up on 4K. It is an absolute treat. Next up, we have Die Hard. Now, I believe this is true 4K. Unfortunately, this only does come with HDR10 and not Dolby Vision. I believe this also does not come with a Dolby Atmos track. No, it doesn't. It's just a DTS HD track, which is kind of unfortunate. But the 4K transfer actually looks very good on this. There was a bit of color bleeding, which, if you don't know what that means, that's when when there's too much color on the screen, that kind of like turns to like little pixels. There was a tiny bit of it in the elevator explosion scene where like McLean, I nearly forgot what his name, throws the bombs out of the elevator. And there was a little bit of color bleeding in there, but otherwise it looked very good, and this is certainly probably the best that the film has ever looked. So if you ever see this going around for a good price, I do say pick it up. Alright, next up we have the Evil Dead trilogy. We always have Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness. I do not have the remake yet, or Evil Dead Rise, because I was never really interested in those ones. I just wanted to get the original trilogy on 4K. So yeah. Starting off with the first two here. These two are true 4K. They both come with Dolby Vision and HDR10. I'm not sure about a Dolby Atmos track. I'm totally sure. I don't think they do, from the looks of it. Yeah, it doesn't look like either of them have a Dolby Atmos track. So, yeah. I saw a little bit of Evil Dead 1, but I really did watch Evil Dead 2. I think they both look great. Probably the best that both films have ever looked. So if you ever try and pick these films up, I do recommend it. But maybe don't try and get this double pack, because unfortunately with this one they stack the discs, which I fucking hate when studios do this. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to situate that. I tried getting a 4-stack case, but I tried it actually with this Army of Darkness case, which is actually a 4-disc case, and it did not fit. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out an alternative solution. Speaking of Army of Darkness, this is also true 4K. Again, this also does come with Dolby Vision and HDR10. I don't think, yeah, this actually does not come with a Dolby Atmos track. I've actually noticed that a lot of some of the Scream Factory releases don't have Dolby Atmos tracks, which I'm kind of surprised by. But yeah, so this is a This only comes with one 4K disc actually, which is for the theatrical cut, and the other 3 are Blu-ray discs. That being for the theatrical cut, the director's cut, and the international cut, as well as the TV version. So we actually get like 5 cuts. Actually, wait, no, 5, no, 4 technically, because the theatrical cut is released twice on this. The 4K really does look good. This is probably the best the film has ever looked. But I do, this is a bit pricey. I think this is priced around like $37, I think. So I do say be careful. Maybe just wait for a price down or price drop for this one. But yeah, I still do recommend this though, just not for the price that they're asking. Like almost $40 for this. Really fucked up my whole shelf. All right, now next up we actually have my very first Arrow release. That being Flash Gordon. This was, I believe, yeah, the first Arrow release I got. I think I'm gonna be picking up more of their titles soon. But yeah, obviously, just like Screen Factory, you can have it to where you can have this new cover with the slip. I actually do really like this cover, but I prefer to go for the theatrical poster more often than not. With these kind of boutique labels such as Screen Factory or Shop Factory, really, Arrow, and then probably some in the future as well. This is only the 4K disc, and I actually show this off. Unless you get like these like big collector's editions from Arrow, they only come with the 4K discs. So do if you want to try and pick out some Arrow releases, do be careful of that, because that will probably screw you up. I think this is the best the film has ever looked. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention, this does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10. I don't think this comes with a Dolby Atmos track. No, just a 5.1 and 2.0 audio thing. Yeah. The audio sounded pretty good. Could definitely use with a new mix, I think. But yeah, I think this is the best the film has ever looked. And if you're a fan of Flash Gordon, I do highly recommend this. Recommend picking this up. All right, we're back. I just had to cut real quick, and now we're back, and now we're gonna get to the real meat of this collection. I gotta be really careful now, actually. Yeah. Because this could be the part where shit gets damaged. So now we're moving on to the Halloween movies. I only have Halloween's 1 through 5, but I do plan on picking up the kind of like box that they released last year, which has Curse, H2O, and Resurrection. But I only have the first 5 for right now. That obviously being, John Carpenter's Halloween, Halloween 2, Season 3, Season of the Witch, 4, Revenge of Michael Myers, or no, Return of Michael Myers, and Revenge. So, go in order. First off, we obviously have John Carpenter's Halloween. Still one of the best horror films of all time. Now, each one of, actually, no, not each one of these. The first 2 actually have 3 discs in them. As you can see on the back, you get the 4K disc with the theatrical cut. Then you get the Blu-ray with the new scan, and disc 3 also has the original. It says it has the original color timing presentation, which basically I think it means just the original version that was released on 4K, or the original Blu-ray release, as well as the this also contains the extended TV cut. So I'm actually realizing that all of these were actually released in 2021. So this was over 2 years ago. Now I did see some people, especially with this release in particular, kind of comparing it to the Lionsgate release that that was released back in 2018, and kind of comparing the picture and stuff. I did not pick up the Lionsgate release when it initially came out. I only picked up this the Screen Factory release, which is the one I'm holding right now, because I don't know, it just seemed like something about these releases in particular seemed like more, I don't know, something about it seemed a lot more professional, I guess, in a way, and a lot more care and attention went into these. Whereas compared to with the Lionsgate release, for one, it kind of seemed they were just upscaling the picture a bit and not really doing anything with the colors. because if you have seen screenshots of the Lionsgate release, I'll try and throw some up right now. But the Lionsgate release seemed very muted in its colors, whereas this one, it's pretty much the complete opposite. This version is full of colors. It really does pop out, and I should mention that all 5 of these are true 4K, and all 5 of these do come with Dolby Vision and HDR10. So yeah. But yeah, this release also does come with a Dolby Atmos track, and the Dolby Atmos really works with this. The music really comes out a lot more in the mix, and the dialogue isn't too muffled either. It's very clear, very audible. So very good release. So if you're a fan of the first Halloween, definitely do pick this up at some point. As per usual with Scream Factory releases, you can either have it to where it's the new cover with the box, you can either have it to where it's the new cover, or you can reverse it to the original poster art. For me personally, even if I don't have a slip cover or something like this, I always reverse it to the original covers because I always love this care and attention that these particular ones give. But yeah, I highly recommend getting the first Halloween on 4K by Scream Factory. I'm not really sure if you want to go for that Lionsgate release. Next up, we have Halloween 2, again by Scream Factory. Now, I did hear some issues that people have with the packaging, where, according to some reports, if you got it when it initially came out, they said that the spelling of Halloween was messed up. And I've looked all around here, and I don't see any issues with this. So I may have gotten a corrected version, but I did hear reports that theirs was messed up. And even on the internal thing, it's fine. So I'm not sure if I think I did get a good version. But if I could try and find a version that was messed up, I could try and show it on screen. But yeah, again, same as the first Halloween movie, 3 discs. The first one is obviously an actual 4K disc. The second one is a Blu-ray, and this time the third one is actually a DVD, which has the television version. But I should mention just right now, for all 5 of these, the Blu-ray disc that does come with it is just a 1080p downscale of the 4K transfer. So if you want to experience 4K now, but don't have a 4K player, you can easily just watch the Blu-ray and go on from there. But Halloween 2 looks very good. Just like what I said with Halloween 1, the colors are more vibrant and pop a lot more. And again, this, like I said before, this does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10. This also does come with a Dolby Atmos mix, and the Dolby Atmos, again, really works on this. The music is a lot more vibrant, the dialogue pops a lot more, it's a lot more audible. So again, if you're a fan of Halloween 2, pick this up. It is probably the best visually and sounding-wise the film has ever been. So, do recommend this. Next up, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Kind of a controversial one, a bit. Some people really like this film, some people really hate it. I actually really do like this movie. I just don't really see it as a Halloween movie. I just see it as just a generic, I don't see it as a Michael Myers, or I don't see it as a Halloween film connected to the Halloween franchise. I just see it as just a generic Halloween movie. And as that, this is really good. But obviously you have to kind of tie it with the original Halloween franchise, and for that, it kind of does rank towards the middle / bottom of the rankings for me. But as a movie as a whole, it is really good. This is only a 2-disc set. It only comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray disc. But like before, the Blu-ray disc is a 1080p downscale of the 4K transfer. This unfortunately does not come with a Dolby Atmos mix, but it does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10. The only audio track that you can get is a DTS HD stereo mix, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think they didn't have enough time to do a Dolby Atmos track for this release. But yeah. But I think the transfer for this one was actually really good. I'm not sure if I would put this on par with Halloween 1 and 2, kind of just because it doesn't, the Dolby Atmos track doesn't really boost it up, but it is still a very good release. So if you, probably the best the film has ever looked, but probably not the best the film has ever sounds. So, you know, if you're a fan of this film, I do recommend picking this up, but do be aware it does not come with a Dolby Atmos track. Next up, we have Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers. Same thing here, only 2 discs, a 4K and a Blu-ray disc. Now, the weird thing is that it says on the back here for me that, and I'll take a screenshot and zoom in it so you guys can see it. It says that the 4K disc comes with a Dolby Atmos mix, but the Blu-ray doesn't. I did look into this, and I think it's just a printing error. Both discs do come with the Dolby Atmos track. Obviously, again, both discs come with, or the 4K disc does come with a Dolby Vision, comes with Dolby Vision and HDR10. This is probably the best that the film has ever looked, and definitely something worth picking up if you're a fan of the Halloween franchise. I still think this is a pretty good film. I know about all the plot holes and stuff that are in this film, but if I just ignore that and just see it as a stupid horror slasher film, I still love this film. It's probably at least in the top 5 for me. But yeah, definitely one of my personal favorites. But yeah, definitely definitely worth picking up. Oh, also, I actually just realized that on the back here for the Blu-rays mentions, it does say new Dolby Atmos tracks. Yeah, I think this is a printing error at the bottom. So Dolby, just letting you guys know, both discs do come with a Dolby Atmos track. And then finally, for the Halloween movies for now, we got Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers. Same thing as before with Halloween 4. Only 2 discs. The Blu-ray, or the 4K and the Blu-ray. Both are the 4K transfers, and both come with the Dolby Atmos mix. The Dolby Atmos for this doesn't sound that great, probably because the mix for this one was kind of mid as a whole. But the colors, I would say probably, honestly, out of the 5 Halloween films I have, this is probably the weakest in terms of the colors, because it's not really that vibrant. So yeah, this is probably the weakest out of the 5, but still, this is probably the best that the film has ever looked and sounded, because again, it has that Dolby Atmos mix. But I'm not really a big fan of this film, probably in my lower rankings for the Halloween films. So yeah, but again, if you're a fan of this film, pick this up, because it's a very good looking 4K disc. Next up, we have one of my favorite 90s films, The Hunt for Red October, starring Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin, and Sam Neill. I believe this is the 2020 Steelbook release. Oh, 2018, I mean. I know they released it like a standard version back in like 2020, 21, I think. I think this does come with both. This is true 4K, and this does come with both HDR10 and Dolby Vision. I'm not sure about. This is Dolby Audio, and I actually don't know where the card is. I think this does come with Dolby Atmos. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna have to look into that, and I'll probably put some text on here saying if it is. Drop the thing. This is a very good 4K disc. I wouldn't say. I'm not sure if this is the best the film has ever looked. It probably is. But it's nothing too spectacular. But I do recommend getting this on 4K if you either get the Steelbook, which is probably out of print right now, or just getting I think the standard edition is just the same disc as in this one. So yeah. But yeah, I do recommend getting this. Next up, we have Raiders of the Lost Ark on 4K. I have the beautiful, beautiful 4K Steelbook that they came out with later on. Because initially, when they released all these on 4K, the Steelbook set that they came out with, it was this generic white packaging, which looked fucking horrible, and it looked something right out of Photoshop. So I didn't even go for those, and the only way you could really get them initially was through the box set. I kind of didn't really want to do that. because I just wanted really to get the original trilogy, and that's it. But when they started releasing the Steelbook releases, I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna go with. And so far, I only have Raiders. I do plan on picking up Temple of Doom and Last Crusade at some point, hopefully soon. But the unfortunate, I would do warn you guys, kind of like for some of these other releases I mentioned before. If you do plan on picking this up, this only does come with the 4K disc. It does not come with the Blu-ray. I don't know if I showed this off actually in the video. But all of these kind of like mini, all these Steelbook releases do come with like little mini posters for the films. So that's also kind of a plus. Trying to fit this sucker in. This is true 4K. And this does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10. And this also does come with a Dolby Atmos track. So, visually, I think this is the best the phone has ever looked. And probably will be the best it will look for a while. But like I said, I do want to pick up the next two. I'm not so sure about Crystal Skull, because I think that might be an upscale. I'm not totally sure on that, though. I'm going to have to do more research about that. I do plan on having Temple of Doom and Last Crusade by the next collection update. So, yeah. Next up, we have the 2017 It. I don't really know why I honestly picked this up. I think it was just because it was Black Friday, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to see this, so I picked it up on 4K. As per usual, since this is a newer movie, this is an upscale. This is not true 4K. But this does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10. It looks alright. Nothing too spectacular. Again, this is a new movie. Or, yeah, basically a new movie on 4K. It's probably not going to look as good. So, don't really recommend picking this up. Just go for the Blu-ray. It probably would be better anyway. But yeah. Nothing much to say about it. Really doesn't have any special features except for the Blu-ray, and mostly it's just like your generic like internet crap that you see nowadays. Studios just pump down the throats for no goddamn reason because it's just dumb. First, they can go back to making actual special features for the releases. New ones, at least. Next up, we have Jaws. Now, this is the original release of Jaws that came out on 4K back in, I think, 2020. Yeah. That came with this very nice looking lenticular cover. And obviously comes with the 4K right here. And also comes with this really informative booklet. Obviously, I won't be going through it, all of it, obviously, right now. But it's very informative. And, yeah. So this was for the 45th anniversary, I believe. I think so, yeah. This is true 4K. And does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10. I believe, and this also does come with a Dolby Atmos track, so you don't have to worry about that. This is the best the phone has ever looked, and I am really glad that I was able to pick this up when I did. But I am really glad that I was able to pick this up when I did, because I probably the Steelbook didn't really appeal me that much, and yeah, I'd rather just get the lenticular. Yeah, and now with the release of Jaws 2 out on 4K, I kind of want to go and pick that up too. I'm not sure if they're going to do Jaws 3 or Jaws 4 on 4K. A part of me honestly kind of wishes that they do, because even though those, I think Jaws 3 might honestly be the most beneficial from it, because the visual effects for that one are god-awful, and hopefully someone can try and fix that up. Jaws 4 didn't actually, hasn't been that bad of a film on home media. So I think everyone might benefit the least from having a 4K release, but still would be nice. But yeah, but definitely we're going to try and pick up Jaws 2 at some point though. Next up, I have both. Yeah, that's when I start falling down. Next up, I have both Kingsman movies, Kingsman: The Secret Service and Golden Circle. I do not have the King's Man though. Never really interested me that much. That's coming in this really finicky box set. Not just box. It's basically just a little thin piece of cardboard. It does look nice though. But yeah. Now, obviously, since these are both, I think this was 2015, I want to say, and this was 2017. You know the gist. These are upscales. They are not true 4K. But they do look very nice though. I believe I'm looking at this. Okay, yes, these are both they both have Dolby Vision and HDR10. I'm not sure about these don't have oh well, actually Secret Service does not come with a Dolby Atmos track, but Golden Circle does. Which actually it does actually kind of surprise me. I thought they would do it for both, but whatever. These don't look too spectacular. Again, they're upscales and they're from recent modern movies, so they're not gonna look that great. They look alright, and if you want, you can try and pick these up, but more likely just go for the regular Blu-rays. Probably just be a waste of money going for these two. I only got these because they were like hella cheap, like maybe 10, 15 bucks. So like, not bad. Next up, we have No Time to Die, a very recent movie, by the way. And surprisingly, this is true 4K. This is not an upscale. And this comes with both Dolby Vision and HDR10, as well as a Dolby Atmos track. So, very, very nice. And this movie looks absolutely amazing on 4K. Definitely another demo disc in my mind, kind of going along with the Batman. I do recommend picking this up. Even if you're not a Bond fan, do pick this up. It really does look spectacular on 4K. People could say, like, the story is a bit hit or miss. I personally thought that the story was very good, and the ending is very, very fucking moving. But still, one of the best visually and sounding 4K discs in my collection, without a doubt. One thing I did find stupid though was that besides the boutique labels like Arrow and Screen Factory, pretty much all of these have digital codes, either to Movies Anywhere or Vudu if it's like Paramount stuff. This movie, for some fucking reason, has a Apple TV code, and I never understood that. Which unfortunately means I cannot watch this digitally because I do not have Apple TV. So, yeah. I had to rant. I wanted to rant about that for so long in a video. I never got the chance to. Now I can. Next up, The Outsiders. Both the complete novel and the theatrical cut in one little thing. Unfortunately, this is these are two 4K discs and not they don't come with Blu-ray discs. So be warned that if you're trying to get this, make sure you have a 4K player because these are going to be 4Ks only. But yeah, this is true 4K for both, I believe, and yeah, it's fucking. And I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, they do not come with a Dolby Atmos track. It's just a DTS HD 5.0 mix. Okay. The theatrical cut looks amazing. Probably the best the film has ever looked. Considering the fact that beforehand we only got a crappy 1999 DVD from Warner Brothers that was in full screen. This is a significant upgrade. So just for the theatrical cut alone, I do recommend getting this. The complete novel cut, on the other hand, it looks good, but it's not really that much of a significant jump from the Blu-ray. Although the Blu-ray was kind of like a crap Blu-ray disc. So this is definitely an upgrade, but not by much as compared to the theatrical cut. So really, I think if you're trying to get this on 4K, you're really getting this for the theatrical cut. because the complete novel version isn't really that spectacular in terms of visual looks, and both have a famous. They have the have a DTS 5. Or DTS HD 5.0. Actually, the theatrical cut has a 5.1 mix. So, yeah, but overall, I do recommend getting this. It's just that, again, like I said, you're probably going to be going more for the theatrical cut than the complete novel cut. Next up, we have a very recent film, probably one of my more recent 4Ks that I got, Poltergeist. I have not checked this film out yet on 4K, but from what I've seen, it is a very good transfer. I believe this does... Okay, this is true 4K, but this only comes with HDR10. So this is not Dolby Atmos compliable. But I believe... Oh, it doesn't come with a Dolby Atmos track. Weird. No, it doesn't. Kinda weird. Like I said, I haven't really checked this one out just yet. So definitely could be a while. But this is definitely one that I do want to get into. I'm not sure if they're going to put out the sequels yet in 4K. I guess it really just depends on this one does well. Then they'll put out the sequels. But yeah. Not really much to say about this. I haven't really seen it, but from what I've heard, it's a very nice 4K transfer. So there you go. Next up, we have Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Now, this is true 4K. But this only, again, comes with HDR10. Again, this comes with the Blu-ray and 4K disc. I'm not sure if this one is... the Blu-ray disc is just a downscale of the 4K disc, or this is just from the previous Blu-ray release. It might be, since it is a universal release. So, maybe? I'm not totally sure. The picture on this doesn't... It looks good, but considering the fact that it is black and white, there's not going to be that much color that pops out, so it's really just the contrast that's going to be the biggest thing that you notice. And it does look very clear, but not by too much. Since most black and white movies nowadays get very nice like cleanups as compared to color movies. So not a significant upgrade, but definitely worth going for. But yeah, probably just go for the standard release and not this steelbook. It does look nice though, but it is a pretty much an all black steelbook, so this could possibly damage over time, which is what I'm kind of worried about. All right, now we're moving on to another big franchise, the Rambo series. I only have the first 4 because I have actually Rambo 5 on regular Blu-ray, because this was a new movie, so I didn't really see the purpose of picking this up on 4K, so I just got the Blu-ray of this. Just want this sucker in. Yeah, I decided to pick up the rest of these on 4K, just whatever. Also, I actually didn't really have any of the other ones besides the first one, so getting these was a nice kind of little thing. And I got pretty much all these on Black Friday, so that helped. So first off, we obviously have Rambo First Blood, or just First Blood. I'm actually using the VHS cover from the Blu-ray that I have that I'm going to be selling at some point. Yeah, but I'm using this as like a slipcover. But yeah, First Blood. This is all these except for one, which I'll get to later, are true 4K. But these only come with HDR10. I don't believe any of these come with a Dolby Atmos track. Yeah, it's just a DTS HD 5.1 mix. I think this looks very good. Probably not that spectacular as compared to the Blu-ray, but still looks very nice. Probably the best the film has ever looked so far, but I think this definitely has room for improvement. And now they're falling. Really gotta be careful with this sort of stuff. Next up, we have Rambo First Blood Part 2. Again, true 4K, as well. It also only comes with HDR10 and not Dolby Vision. And again, no Dolby Atmos track. I think I'm starting to grow on my opinions on this film as time goes on. Before I kind of rank this kind of low on my rankings. In terms of the Rambo films, I think now, I think I would definitely put this like in the top 3. Not above Rambo 1 or 3, but certainly above the other 2. But yeah. But yeah, I think overall though, I think this is a very nice looking 4K, kind of similar to Rambo 1, where it looks nice, but I don't think it's the best the film has ever looked. There's definitely room for improvement, but as for what we got right now, it's definitely the best that it looks as of right now. Rambo 3, again, same story. True 4K, HDR10 only, and no Dolby Atmos track. Kind of after a while, you know, saying the same stuff over again, it kind of gets repetitive. Same thing. I think this looks great, but definitely room for improvement. I still think that one's better, though, than Rambo 2. Rambo from 2008. Now, this one is actually, surprisingly, an upscale. This is not true 4K. But the thing that wasn't what surprised me, since this was in 2008. I think this might have been shot with a Genesis camera, I believe, which I think the highest resolution it goes is like 2K. So this was never going to be in true 4K. The thing that surprised me though, this comes with Dolby Vision. Yeah, I know, crazy. I was not expecting this to get a Dolby Vision. I wasn't expecting this to get Dolby Vision. As well, this also gets a Dolby Atmos track, where the other 3 did not. Which kind of surprised me, because there's not really... I guess like there's like a couple parts in there where a Dolby Atmos track really does help. But overall, it just didn't really sound that good compared to the regular DZS HD mix. So I personally just go for that one over the Dolby Atmos, because it didn't really sound that much fuller than the regular mix. But yeah, also this is one that I don't really come back to that often, because I really didn't like this film. It just felt very dark, very bleak. And yeah, so I mean, if you're a fan of this film, this is definitely worth picking up, but otherwise, whatever. Alright, now moving on to the Star Trek films now. I only have 5 right now, but I do plan on picking up the rest at some point. First up is actually something that I have not revealed to the internet yet, my actual first custom Blu-ray case. If you may remember from my Amazon Prime video, you remember that I got a kind of like a blank 3-disc 4K case for the disc that came with these Star Trek motion picture box set. And I needed the cover for a while, and just recently, I got that done. It looks very nice from the offset, like just staring at it initially, but if you kind of take more of an in-depth look, especially at the spine, and a little bit at the spine, but especially on the back, you can tell it's a bit blurry. But you know, it does the job, and honestly, for a first attempt, I don't think this looks that bad. And as you guys can tell, it comes with the director's cut 4K disc, the theatrical cut 4K disc, and the special features. Now, I was talking to some of my friends about this, and I actually did look at the special features disc for this release. The special features Blu-ray disc does not come with the special longer version. I think it's actually on the theatrical cut 4K disc. So, all 3 of the cuts for this film are in true 4K. And, oh my god, does this film actually look amazing. Especially the director's cut. Like, this is by far the best the film has ever looked. And, holy shit, it's like actually amazing. So, if you ever get a chance, do try and pick this up. Either, just the director's cut on Blu-ray, on 4K. Or if you have the cash, and if you can find it somewhere, go and get the director's cut box set that I have. I did a whole video on it, basically explaining what it comes with and stuff. I think it's honestly worth it, because that comes with all 3 versions of the film, and I think that's the only version that, as of right now, that does come with all 3. So, yeah, definitely do pick it up, but definitely the best the film has ever looked. Next up, without a doubt the best Star Trek film ever made, and that is Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. This was actually a very recent purchase. Well, not really recent, within like the last 6 months, along with Star Trek 6, but I'll get to this later. This is true 4K. This also does come with both, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the first one does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10, so does this. And just like the motion picture, this is probably the best, the film has ever looked. And yeah, it's just, God, Paramount has really blowing it out of the park with their 4K releases. You know, with the Star Trek films and the Indiana Jones films, they really show that they do care for their films. Unlike a certain other company that we're going to get to shortly. It really does surprise me with how much care and attention they put into their releases. But yeah. I think... also, I forgot to mention, this does come with a Dolby Atmos track for, I believe, both. Yes, for both 4K discs. This also does come with a Dolby Atmos track, and by God, does this sound amazing. Alright, one final cut, hopefully. I just wanted to make sure that everything was going well, and that nothing stopped abruptly. Alright, next up, I have Star Trek 6. They may be asking, why didn't I get, them in release, or in the actual order? I just want to get the TOS films that I liked the most, that being Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 6. I do plan on picking up 3 through 5 at some point, along with the Next Generation films, but those will be in the future. Hopefully by the next collection update, or the next 4K collection video that I do, probably next year, I will have a little bit more of the Star Trek films in my collection. Probably not all of them, but we'll see. But yeah, both, actually, I did forget to mention with Star Trek 2 as well, both of these, and this was also another reason why I picked these up first. Both of these have their respective director's cuts for both. So whereas Star Trek 2 actually did get its director's cut, a Blu-ray release back in, I forgot which year it was. It might have been, here, let me look at this, because I actually do have the original Blu-ray release for the director's cut. 2016. So the director's cut already had a Blu-ray release back in 2017 or 2016. I mean, damn. So we already kind of knew what the director's cut was like beforehand. For Star Trek 6, this only had one home media release beforehand. That was on the DVDs releases back in 2006, I want to say. Or actually, no, probably around 2001, 2002-ish, because that's when the director's cut for 1 came out, along with 2. So the director's cut never got a 4K release, let alone a Blu-ray release. So to get this on a 4K disc was kind of yes. So yeah, that's kind of another reason why I picked this one up over the other ones. So yeah, same thing as before. This does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10, as well as the Dolby Atmos track. So at least I think it does. I haven't even actually checked yet. I think it does. Could be wrong about that though. Let me put this on sucker backwards. But yeah, do recommend getting this if you are a Star Trek fan. Still need to get the other ones though. Speaking of other ones, next up we have the 2 J.J. Abrams films. I do not have Beyond yet, but I have obviously Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness. Now, I don't know if I discussed this on the internet. I probably have, but if you guys haven't heard the story, you know my relationship with this particular 4K release. But there's not about Star Trek 1 or Star Trek from 2009. This is an upscale. This is not true 4K, but this does come with both Dolby Vision and HDR10, as well as a Dolby Atmos track. So definitely sounding wise, this is probably the best the film has ever sounded. But yeah, so this comes with the 4K disc, as well as the regular Blu-ray disc and the special features disc. So yeah, nothing too crazy. Now, again, like I said earlier, if you know, then you know the history that I have with this 4K release. But I got both this and the first one on Black Friday one year, and didn't think that much of it until I opened it, and yeah. So I only have the special features disc for Into Darkness. That would pretty much suck for me because I was able to redeem the digital code for the film, but obviously I don't have either the 4K or the Blu-ray disc. Except for in this sucker, which does come with all 3 films on 4K. So I guess that kind of helps, but still, in a way, kind of sucks. So can I put this back? I'm gonna go and have to pick this up again on 4K, or just have to go online and try and look for the remaining discs and just putting them in the case. So yeah, that's why I don't really talk about this one that much, because this is something I don't really like talking about, because this shit does happen. You know, sometimes when you're collecting stuff like this, sometimes you get scuffed, and it sucks. But I guess that really shows how much of a piece of shit this film is, that I couldn't even get the actual disc for it. So yeah. Next up is, one, you've already heard me talk about these before, so there's not really much introduction I have to say about the Superman films. I've already done actually a whole video about this box set, and really about both of these, but yeah, all of these are true 4K, and I do honestly recommend getting these. These are definitely the best films I've ever looked. It's just some people have slight issues with them. Some of them I think are justified, some of them not really. Like the transfer of the theatrical cut of 2, well, I guess both versions of 2 really. People say it doesn't really look that good. I think it looks really great. But I do agree that the thing that happened with the Dolby Atmos track with 4 shouldn't have happened at all. It's kind of stupid, but I'm hoping that they Warner Brothers does do something about this and kind of fixes it. So only time can tell, and I really do hope. Make sure that fits. All right, people, on the home stretch. All right, set that off to the side. I guess. Next up, we have the Super Mario Brothers movie from 2023. Now, obviously, modern movie. Kind of goes without saying, this is an upscale. This is not true 4K. But honestly, with most animated movies nowadays, honestly, I just dropped it. With most animated movies nowadays, it is probably better to pick them up in 4K because, I mean, while Blu-ray it does look nice, 4K really does bring out all the details with it. So it is probably better just to get these on 4K anyway. So, yeah, this is definitely a very good looking 4K visual experience. But yeah, obviously, it's not true 4K, so people are kind of a little bit apprehensive about it. But I do recommend it. Next up, we have, we're talking about, so here's the weird thing. I have Toy Story 2 and 4 on 4K. I don't have 1 or 3. Which is kind of weird. I get that, but I'll explain. So, initially when Disney was releasing their films on 4K, they started off with, when they're releasing Pixar's back catalog of films on 4K, they started off with the Toy Story films back in 2019. And they did it in the regular slipcovers or these Best Buy exclusive steelbooks. And for me personally, I love 2 the most. So, I opted to get 2 on this 4K steelbook, and it looks great. Basically kind of the same thing as they did with Cars. Now, this is unfortunately an upscale, which honestly did kind of surprise me. This was a 1999 animated movie, and yet this is an upscale. But that being said, this does look amazing on 4K, and even if it is an upscale, this is probably the best the film has ever looked. So I do recommend getting this if you can find it. most likely just get the regular slip cover because this is probably going to be hell of expensive and probably out of print. So yeah, just go for the regular slips. Now, Toy Story 4, on the other hand, this was a birthday gift from, I think it was 2019. So, I did not buy this myself. So don't go snagging me in the comments saying like, oh, you got Toy Story 4, you fucking loser. No, this was a gift. Don't at me. The shocking thing about this, though, is that this is true 4K. This is not an upscale, which honestly surprised me. But what I've actually been learning about Disney recently is that their new movies are actually true 4K. Actually, a good example of it was Last Jedi. That was released on 4K, and it was true 4K. It was not an upscale. And yet, like, the Marvel films are upscales, I think. So, it's kind of weird. But yeah, like I said, kind of like, if you're trying to get animated movies, kind of like what I was saying about the Super Mario Brothers movie. If you plan on getting new animated movies, probably just pick them up in 4K. No matter if they're true 4K or upscales, they're still going to look amazing. And the clarity on these, especially in 4K, looks amazing. So, do pick these up, even if Toy Story 4 is objectively the worst, one of the worst ones in the trilogy, or quadrilogy now technically. Or should I even say that since they're coming out with, there's talks of a fifth one. Fuck, I'm getting old. But yeah. So let's deal with that. And finally, my final 4K as of September 2023 is Tremors. Again, another Arrow video release, and as before, you can either have it, you can have it to where it's the new cover art, which is actually on the disc right here, or you can have it to where it's the original poster art. And again, you know me, I personally go for the original poster arts most of the time. That's just how I work. This is true 4K. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention that both of the Toy Story movies, as well as actually, the last few I've discussed, up until, yeah, from Superman the movie up until Toy Story 4, they all have Dolby Vision and HDR10. I believe the Superman movies have Dolby Atmos tracks. I know that. Super Mario Bros. Movie does come with a Dolby Atmos track. Not sure about Toy Story 2. Yes, it does. So Toy Story 2 comes with a Dolby Atmos mix. And let's see. It's really dark in my room, so I'm trying to see this. I believe this, yeah, this does come with a Dolby Atmos mix too. And with Tremors, we only get a 5.1 mix. But this does obviously again come with Dolby Vision and HDR10. Yeah, this is the best the film has ever looked. Without a doubt. But the recent announcement that Arrow is actually doing Tremors 2, I might be picking that up. I'm not totally sure. But we'll see about that. So guys, that is gonna do it for this 4K collection video. Holy shit, that was a long one. I can only imagine what the timestamp of this video is currently. Probably at least over 40 minutes to like an hour. But yeah, this was something I honestly wanted to do for a very long time. I just never knew when I wanted to do it. And I'm glad I'm doing it as of right now. And this gives me the opportunity to kind of come back and do kind of updates. And kind of do it in like the same style as this. Because this was honestly hella fun to do and kind of informative for you guys. The thing is though, is that I'm actually recording this before I'm doing my updated Blu-ray collection video, which is going to be separate from this. It's just going to be all the regular Blu-rays in my collection. And I won't be going into that much detail because obviously Blu-rays, it doesn't really matter. They're always going to be 1080p. So not really that much to go into depth with. So I could easily just fire through all of them, especially since I have a fuck ton of them. Whereas these ones, I don't have that much, so I can actually go into depth with them and actually discuss the intricacies like this. So, this was fun. And I really hope that when I get a significant amount added to my 4K collection, I can certainly do an update or 2 or 3. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video on the channel. I just want to mention that obviously this was recorded probably before a whole bunch of other videos I have planned have been out, because at the time of this video's recording, trying to look at it right now, again on my laptop over here. It is September 11th of 2023. So this is probably gonna come out before the other video, or this is gonna come out after the other videos that I have planned, because I'll just say now, if everything goes well, SGS will be coming back. Studio Ghibli Summer will be coming back, and we will be finishing off that with the remaining 4 reviews I think that we're gonna do. Yeah, 4. That being The Wind Rises, Princess Kaguya, When Morning Was There, and Earache and the Witch. In preparation for The Boy and the Heron, which is going to be coming out, actually, I think in December of this year. So that will be coming back, hopefully, if everything works out. I think everything will be working out as planned. So again, stay tuned for that. Also, I'm not sure when, but SGB episodes will be coming out hopefully soon, because Matt's currently working on his own thing for his channel, which is why it's been delayed for a little while. But I think he's coming to the end of his current series right now, which allows him to go and work on SGB episodes again, so we can get 64 done and over with, because at the time of this recording, we have, at least recorded-wise, the entirety of 64. Like, all the video files, we have recorded everything for 64. It just needs to be edited and uploaded. And as of right now, we're only up to Diary Docs, which is, I think, episode 9. So we still need to do from Snowman's Land up until the final Bowser fight. So that's 6 episodes that need to be uploaded. But hopefully soon, those will all be uploaded again real soon. And, you know, I'm hopefully going to be getting back into streaming more consistently. Again, because of that big thing I want to do in October. So, you know, I'm going to get back into Fortnite. Probably going to be doing some Fall Guys as well. And probably going to do a little bit more Crash Bandicoot. Hopefully everything works out. And just in preparation for the big thing in October, which you guys have seen some of my other live streams. You know what's going on with that. But yeah. So stay tuned next time, guys, for whichever video will be next. Because honestly, I don't know. Because this will be probably coming out after at least one live stream. A few videos will be out. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a long one, but this is kind of like the nature of my videos nowadays. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this collection video. Stay tuned for the next video, whatever the hell it might be. Live long and prosper.